happening in our school district, like, Dr. Locke already kind of mentioned some of it. Our girls track team won state. We were winning state championships in sports. Long Beach High School basketball team, for the first time in the history of Long Beach High School, is making it deep into the playoffs. Choir, band, these kids work so hard. They spend so much time and put so much effort. They deserve to be able to perform in a building that is just as adequate as everybody else on the coast. So working for the school, I also want to thank everybody for supporting the bond issue. I know it was a tough decision, but we really do appreciate it, and I can tell you the kids really appreciate it, and teachers as well. Everybody, and selfishly probably, when I get asked, why are you running, I have two sons. My goal is when they're ready to start their lives, they want to start it in Long Beach. I think a big thing as far as right now goes is youth in Long Beach. Our kids don't have much to do. Our facilities, as far as rec football fields, luckily we're with the county and they're helping us with our baseball fields, but our softball fields all need to be upgraded. If we go to other places, they're hosting these tournaments and it's bringing in hundreds and hundreds of people on the weekends into their communities. That's going to help our restaurants. I definitely want to promote businesses that are going to be geared towards giving the youth something to do. Whether it be supporting our Boy Scouts, anything that we can get. I'm probably running out of time, so I'm going to pass it over. Thank you.
All right, in this next, in the question section, that one should, yes, sir. Test it and see.
Test.
There you go.
Test.
All right,
Test.
so there's going to be a 3-minute time to answer the question. There's going to be a 1.5-minute time in between, and then 1 minute for each candidate for rebuttal. So those are the rules.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
And there will be 3 questions for each one of you, okay?
And if anybody needs water, there's water up at the front, and there's on both sides.
Okay. As we've been flipping the coin, we got Alderman Robertson, the first question. What are some of the future community and business developments that you feel will play a vital role in the future of Long Beach's economic progress? And you have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Well, the biggest one I can think of course, I'm hoping that we get a casino because it means so much tax dollars to the city. It could be $6 or $7 million additional to the total community. So that's probably the biggest one. The other game changer is going to be when we get that 4-lane connector road from I-10 to the Highway 90. That's going to bring a lot more tourism, so it's going to raise our tourism taxes as well and revenue. I think, as I mentioned in my opening, that we need to consider annexation to the north to increase our tax base. If it makes sense, I want to make sure it's a situation that will pay for itself. Okay, do we have a timer on this?
Yes, definitely think that the 4-lane parkway done right could definitely be beneficial to the city. But if we're talking, I think that's a great project, but that's 5 years away. I think that we need to focus also on issues that can immediately impact our tax base. Like I've mentioned a minute ago, definitely kid-friendly. This is a bedroom community. It's important that our kids have something to do. It's important that we retain people when they graduate from high school and go off to college, that they're moving back to Long Beach and planting their roots back here. I can tell you a lot of people that are my age haven't moved back. A lot of that has to do with jobs. We have an industrial park sitting there. I know they're working on some projects currently. I think that to really impact our tax growth, we need to focus on industry. I definitely think that the firemen, the teachers, the police officers are all going to benefit. Our students would benefit from the casino. I think if it is done right, and the developers and the people who are building the project are held accountable. I think it can be done in the right way, and I think it can represent Long Beach. I think we can maintain the small town feel. I hope that we can build up our Jeff Davis in our downtown area with restaurants and stores and boutiques, and make this a place to be. Instead of, right now, if you go to Bay St. Louis and you go to Ocean Springs, there are this many people walking around the streets all the time. There's no reason Long Beach can't do the same.
Oh, 1 minute. Thank you. In addition to what I said before, we want to increase traffic flow. And when a business is studied in an area, the first thing they do is count the traffic. How many people come by that location? So this project we've got going down here in at the Jeff Davis entrance from Highway 90 is going to be very important. People are going to come down Highway 90. They're going to see all the signage and beautiful landscape, the little lighthouse on the side. They're going to turn in, come up the street. That's going to increase traffic count. We can do anything like that to increase people in our community. We can also sponsor new events. I guess Jeep in the Coast, which is coming up soon, is a good event, and other events similar to that. Cruising the Coast is a great event. Those bring people into our city. That increases traffic count. That encourages businesses to locate here in Long Beach.
Thank you, gentlemen. Second question. Where do you stand on a casino developed within Long Beach?
I think as far as the casino goes, I believe that decision has, been made. The casino has been given site approval from the state. I think at this point going forward, it's on the developers to put together their project and come up with the funds, and I'm sure they're working on that. I think at this point, we hear the casino is not going to be the save-all, be-all for Long Beach. It is going to help. It is going to help our teachers, our firemen. We will have more firemen. We'll have more police officers. Our streets will be safer. Our response times will be quicker, which will help with our insurance. But we can't be 100% dependent on a casino. We have to be more business-friendly as a city. We have to strive. There's so many people in this town with great ideas who have ambition, who want to open businesses, and we need to assist them. We need to help them. We need to promote smart economic growth, and we need to, as a city, help these businesses, whether it's working with South Mississippi Planning and Development to look at grants, anything we can do to get our town to where it needs to be. We need more business. We need more people walking down the streets on the weekends. We have to invite these people. We have to offer tax incentives to corporations. But we cannot be 100% dependent on a casino as the end-all, be-all. We have to mitigate our tax issue. Our property taxes, the casino will definitely help. But I don't want to be 100% dependent on a casino. I think it can be a great project. I think it can represent our city well. We hear the crime issues and things like that. I don't see the crime rate in Gulfport behind the Island View Casino going up. I think Long Beach citizens would not stand, for that. So I do support the casino if it's done correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. I, too, also support a casino development. We've recently had some debate on our council about whether or not we should renegotiate our contract. So I would like to speak on that as well. Anybody that knows the laws and read the laws according to the state, the developer must show control of the land from the water's edge to the casino site. He has not done that. There's a court battle going on. They want us to renegotiate the contract today. I don't think it's in the best interest of our citizens to do it until we find out the answer to that court battle. But it's not an end-all to everything. That Patrick said we need to develop other businesses as well. And I will support it, and I will be willing to sit down and negotiate when the time comes. Thank you.
Definitely with the casino, I think there needs to be more transparency. As a citizen, I don't know personally that much about the casino. I don't think there has been a good job of getting information out. I don't think people realize how it is going to benefit our public servants, as far as teachers, as far as firemen and things like that. So we definitely need to do a better job of being transparent, getting this information to residents so they know what's going on. Long Beach voted. They wanted a casino. I realize some people have a different opinion, but at this point, I don't think we need to fight these developers. I think we need to help them so that the end project is as great as it can be.
Okay, round 2 questions are going to come from our student panel, and each candidate's going to have 2-minute response and then a 1.5-minute rebuttal. So, students, do you need a microphone? Here's one coming.
Testing. Okay. This first question goes to Mr. Bennett. What can the city do to provide more recreational opportunities for the young adults?
Right, and you know, I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna say, hey, we're gonna try to get grants. Well, that's kind of an issue with Long Beach at this point, is we're so dependent on grants. We're dependent on the county. That goes back to the economic growth. With the casino, with industry, we have to expand our tax base. We have to be able to take accountability. We have to be able to look at our softball fields, our Little League football fields, and we need to make upgrades. They're just being honest, they're not where they need to be. If you look at some of these other places, my little boy is 8. He plays every sport. We're traveling around. We can do better. There is so much money to be made in youth sports. Hosting these tournaments. Another issue we have is practice facilities. We have the park on Magnolia. We have other green spaces. We are, and for people who don't know, the Harrison County runs our Little League boys baseball field. Well, we're not allowed to practice on those fields. So the big issue right now is, where do you practice? We're practicing in dirt fields. I think Magnolia is the perfect example. I think that it wouldn't take a lot of money and it wouldn't take a lot of work to improve these facilities that we already have, these green spaces, where kids can practice Little League baseball and football. And I think, with Corona, it's kind of thrown everything off. As many kids aren't participating. We're going to have to start reaching out to these kids to make sure that we can keep them involved in something. Like I said, our Boy Scouts, our Boy Scout leaders around here, and I know I see at the school, the Eagle Scout, we have so many kids going after their Eagle Scout and thing. It's so important for these kids to have something to do. So I think, we as a city, and I don't think it's a problem that just the Board of Aldermen and the mayor can solve. As a city, we have to come together and figure out ways to provide these kids with more activities, keep them involved.
You have a 1.5 minutes.
Thank you. I think a lot can be done to get more volunteers to work with our youth. Maybe we need to put on an advertising campaign to get more parents involved and get more adults involved. And that would encourage kids to come out when they got coaches that can help them. I played, the small T-ball when I was growing up, played Little League, and the fathers would usually come out and volunteer to help with those sports. Now, the city can help with improving some of these fields, for certainly. And, they keep the grass cut already. I think we donated some soccer goals to some of the soccer fields given to the activity from the city. But as we learn about these deeds, the city can make contributions. And you can even do fundraisers to buy more equipment as might be necessary. So I would encourage you to get your parents involved and other adults involved. Thank you.
Next question from the students.
Testing. Okay. This is for Mr. Robertson. Are there any traffic studies or funds available to fix the stoplights?
Yes, that's a good question. most of the stoplights that are out right now are on the federal aid roads that go through the city. That example is Beat Line, Pineville, Klondike, Commission, Cleveland. They're all federal aid roads. So we've done a study as to what needs to be done. We have to work with MDOT on these because MDOT will refund or they'll pay for the upgrades as may be necessary. Now, we do have a grant to make some improvements at a couple of intersections, say Commission and Klondike. We have a grant that's going to allow us to widen that intersection and put additional passing lanes in and update